What is imposter syndrome? Okay, so for me, imposter syndrome is, simply put, is when you think other people are more of an expert than you are. So to put it into context, you might say your abilities look this big, but other people's abilities look this big. So proportionally you feel that you are a fraud or a fake or you shouldn't be there. Those sorts of things come into your mind. The first thing I offer up for you is it's built on what you think other people know. So think about that for a minute. You don't know what other people know. So it's a bit of a wobbly frame of reference to assume that you know what other people know. It feels like a vicious circle, but think about it and try and break that sort of concept down, because it's based upon you thinking you know what they know, which you won't do. It's a bit like knowing what somebody's thinking. You don't at the end of the day. So in terms of imposter syndrome, it's probably about sort of self-belief and understanding that you do have a place in what you do and that you do have the skills and qualities to do what you do. And it might be touching base actually with things like perfectionism. So that whole world of getting it absolutely right and perfect and in its entirety. So my first sort of offer up on that kind of thinking is that perfectionism is essentially how you see it. How somebody else sees it would be probably quite different, or at least different. So again, that frame of reference of perfectionism is a bit of a tricky one, because what does that mean? And actually, is it actually viable? What you're trying to achieve, is it viable? And also, is it necessary? It's quite a big topic. So just to recap in terms of imposter syndrome, it's that bit of us that just doesn't believe we have the skill or the quality or to do what we're doing. And there lies the thought. You're doing it. You're invariably getting paid to provide that service or product. Do your customers, is there evidence you don't do what you do? I would suggest there isn't, else you wouldn't be where you are now. So what you could do also is just look for the evidence that tells you don't do what you do to the best of your ability, to the standard you want. And I would guess you won't find that evidence. So we just perhaps need to reframe how we see ourselves and our ability. And sometimes it can be as simple as having a conversation and dialogue with someone else who knows you well. It might be looking at skills and qualities and literally listing them and listing your experience. That can be very powerful in terms of writing down kind of the story of your experience, maybe on your last project, and what it entailed and what you provided. And then tell yourself that you shouldn't have done it. I don't think that's going to happen. So, imposter syndrome, it's about bringing balance to how you see yourself. I hope this is helpful. It's quite a big subject, but actually it's looking how you see yourself against everybody else, and to bring some counterbalance to that. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.